Not going to wing that. That's unfair to you, because most of you aren't watching this live. I'm not going to wait for other people to join in. We'll just go ahead and start the show. Like G unit, but it's just start the damn show. Yeah. So I guess technically we are doing the same thing that we always do, where I talk a lot instead of just starting the show. Even though it's very annoying, I can't find myself to actually stop. How was you guys this week? Did everything go well? Did you like your week in general? Anything new to report? No? Okay. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Welcome back to Popcorn Poppin' Live. I am your host, Tony. Popcorn Poppin' Live. What is it, you may ask? Huh? What's this thing that a friend of mine told me to watch because I was thinking of watching Ricky Stanicky or Damsel, and I couldn't really figure out whether or not I should watch those, and would rather someone else who has watched it just told me a very short rundown of why I should or why I shouldn't watch it. What could I do? Where could I go? Does YouTube have such a thing? Well, yes. If you're one of those people, welcome to Popcorn Poppin' Live, your weekly movie, TV, and streaming guide. You don't have time to figure out what to watch. There's too much content in the world, and you can't be wasting your time. So let me waste my time for you by watching all that looks vaguely interesting and advising you on what's poppin' and what ain't. Tonight, we'll be talking about a few movies and television shows that I have started, but the very first thing that we should just get out of the way now is the Oscars. The Oscars started and ended last night at 7 p.m., which is earlier than usual. I was very happy about that because if there's one thing I hate about tuning into the Oscars, it is watching them up until too late, because when you work a job where you have to wake up early, when you get older and not fun anymore, you start to hate staying up late. I hate staying up late, especially for very awkward award shows. But let's do a real quick popcorn poppin' review of the show itself. Holy shit, Poppin'. It was the best award show I've seen in years. I've always liked Jimmy Fallon. I'm a fan of Jimmy Fallon. I'd say I'm a Jimmy Fallon fan. I just don't watch Jimmy Fallon live every night or like ever. I don't watch any talk shows anymore. In any case, I've seen him host before and everything was good before, but I just think that they did everything right tonight. I loved the bits. I loved the corny bits. Even just the dog clapping from Anatomy of a Fall. That was cute. There was John Cena. John Cena's appearance was one of the funniest bits in a very long time. That was definitely a historical bit. Specifically him walking. I like that. The bit of them going back and forth was one thing, but having them continue with him coming out with just the card over him. I should have added a picture, but I forgot. In any case, I was kind of surprised that they could get away with it, but I was reading, and apparently you can't show crack and you can't show a bulge. So they Velcroed the title card to him. I don't know if it was his member or just to him, like something in between, but they also put some sort of contraption to show to censor his crack somehow. He was probably wearing underwear. Let's be real. In any case, that was one of the funniest moments, and for him to go, costumes are very important. Like, very, very funny. There was the Yorgos bit that I thought was very funny. There was the bit with I'm going to stop saying bit. There was the part with Kate McKinnon, and I can't remember who was on stage with her, but the bit was with, I did it again, with Steven Spielberg. That was good. The Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger presentation was hilarious with Michael Keaton. That was very, very good. Great Batman joke. And I can't think of anything else besides like moments of someone winning. And I can't think of any jokes that I liked. I just want to say that if you had quit the Oscars before because they were too awkward, there are still awkward parts from this year's, but this was probably the most entertaining in like 5 or 6 years besides the slap. I didn't watch that year, and I knew I had to continue watching because even if that was real or fake, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I think it was real, but it looked like orchestrated. In any case, I knew I needed to keep watching. And plus, it's my thing. Even though I don't always agree with the choices of nominees, especially winners, not all the time anyway, I told myself I'm going to quit watching them, but I should watch them. So I did. And it was great. And you should watch it. You can watch it on Hulu right now. But who won, you may ask? I will tell you, spoiler alert, it's literally everyone that's won all of the awards. Almost. But for the most part, yes. For instance, Cillian Murphy won for Oppenheimer. I don't like doing this weird thing where I project like the fact that I'm going to judge right now on who I would have picked and who I wouldn't. I know I'm in no position to judge who should win and who shouldn't. I just watch a lot of TV and a lot of movies. And yes, I do practice the craft. So I'm allowed to have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. All right. I'm not saying it's absolute right. I'm not saying it's absolute wrong. And I'm not saying these people didn't deserve their awards, because I think I was happy with all the nominations. Every person that got nominated, I believe, deserved to be nominated. I can't think of anyone that didn't. So to say that Cillian Murphy didn't deserve an Oscar win is definitely not the case. It's just, for me personally, I didn't see anything different that he hadn't done before. He didn't prove anything to me. But then again, I've always loved Cillian Murphy. And you shouldn't only win an Oscar for doing something different or doing something outside your wheelhouse. If there's one thing you really should give him an Oscar for, that is for being the star of a movie like this. He's been the star of 28 Days Later, even though that was more of an ensemble. And of course, he is the star of Peaky Blinders, but that came at the tail end of his career. Now we have this, which definitely well deserving of getting an Oscar nom. But, I just kind of wish that Paul Giamatti got it instead. He was perfect for The Holdovers. But then again, this is going to be the same thing. Paul Giamatti didn't prove anything to me with his performance in Holdovers. He just reminded me of how great of an actor he was. Cillian Murphy did the same, but he just really embodied this character so much. Even though it was written for Paul Giamatti, which means, hey, I'm going to use some things that I know you can do mannerisms of, almost as if I'm finding similarities between you and the character I'm trying to develop. Yeah, sure. It was really built for him, but he still just embodied it way better than anything. Watch The Holdovers. It was excellent. I wish I would have been happy with anyone winning. I'm very happy for Cillian. I just think that Giamatti deserved it more. Christopher Nolan, of course, won, and what a dream to win Best Director and get the Oscar handed off to you from probably the most well-known director, at least of our time, if not all time. I mean, I get that Orson Welles is Orson Welles, but like old people and young people know who Steven Spielberg is. Young people probably don't know who Orson Welles is. See what I'm getting at? Alfred Hitchcock is like iconic. Spielberg is iconic. And to get an award from an iconic director is awesome. And that is also obvious that Christopher Nolan is, I guess I would say, iconic. I know that everyone watches his movies, but I don't know. He should be considered iconic. I don't know why I have a weird fight with using that word for him. He's perfect and everything and blah, blah, blah. I think his writing he needs to be writing things with other people, specifically dialogue. He's an amazing storyteller. Do not get me wrong. It's just dialogue. I've never liked his dialogue, and I don't think he's ever cared for dialogue in general, but he's amazing. And, he deserves an Oscar. I just wish, who did I wish more? I don't think I wish of anyone else more. Moving on. I'm happy for him. It's just, Oppenheimer wasn't one of my favorite movies. It was way better the second time. You should watch it on, what should you watch it on? Peacock. It's on Peacock right now. Emma Stone, very controversial win. If you haven't seen Poor Things, you can watch Poor Things right now on Hulu. It is one of my favorite films of the Oscars for sure. It's probably not my favorite Yorgos film, even though it's like the most fun Yorgos film. It is very strange, but it seemed the least amount of strange compared to like The Lobster for me anyway, even though a lot of things you see on screen is stranger than what you see on screen with The Lobster. Watch The Lobster, I think, on Max right now. It's Yorgos. This is one of his other movies. Anyways, Emma Stone was fantastic in the movie. I was when you watch Poor Things, you are gonna notice two things that are weird about it, which we've discussed on here. The first thing, anyway. The first, maybe the second thing too. The first thing is the storyline of a brain of a child, or I'm sorry, of a baby, of an unborn baby, being put into an adult woman's mind or body, and starting to age progressively fast progressively. You know what I'm trying to say. Age very quickly and discover things about life and dreams and sex is a little strange. But if you remember that you're watching a movie and it's also impossible to do something like that, then take the suspension of disbelief that this brain is going much faster than an actual, these guys that are fucking this Emma Stone's body but also the brain of an infant. That infant is probably in their late teens now. Doesn't make it any better, but it doesn't make it any worse. It makes it probably worse. In any case, if you can have the suspension of disbelief of that, then the movie's really good and you don't feel weird about watching it. There is one thing you'll feel weird about watching, is specifically in the beginning of Emma Stone's like character's growing upness. She's trying to learn how to walk and she's learning about a lot of things. It looks like she's doing an impersonation of characters that could be similar to Sean Penn in I Am Sam, or I can't think of anyone else. Come on, there's got to be some. There's Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder. What's that character called? You know where I'm getting at. Playing a special character. Now, she probably did model some of that way, but it kind of, I don't want to say the thing. It seems like a person with mental disabilities. And I get that she is a person with mental disabilities, but it's like on the line of like too much. Like she claps like this and goes, ha, ha, ha. And you're like, what am I watching here? But it grows out of it very quickly. So there's some weird parts in this very, very strange movie, but it's also a comedy and you need to let go. I think I loved it. I thought it was a great movie, but I was a little like, I love Emma Stone too, and I think she still deserved. I think she deserved an Oscar for it. She's a very versatile actor and can go and act as anyone in the room. I think that she can portray almost anyone, and this movie further proved it. So bravo to her. I'm happy she won. But come on. You got to give it to Lily. Very, very different roles. Very different amount of, very polar opposite amount of screen times. And a different genre. Emma Stone did bring a lot of heart to her character, but in a very comedic approach. Because it's a comedy. Goes with the Flower Moon. Not a comedy. Lily Gladstone says some funny shit in it sometimes and kind of has a persona reacting off of Leo that is pretty funny at times. Like she doesn't, the point is it's a very serious role and a very serious performance and an excellent performance. I'm bummed she didn't win. It would have been historical. And it's still, what she still achieved was historic. So a win, and who fucking cares about awards anyway? I would really care about that award. I would be very bummed about it. Also, I read today Angela Bassett revealed, but she was being a human being and said, yeah, of course I was disappointed that I lost to Jamie Lee Curtis. She didn't say those words exactly, but she said, yeah, I was disappointed. I'm a human being. So I'm a human being. I would be super disappointed if I were Lily Gladstone giving such a knockout performance and losing to someone who's already won one. But, you know, that would be kind of disingenuous of an award to get. I do kind of think like you would owe Native Americans at least one Oscar. But if we're going by talent, just talent, which is what awards should be given for, I still think that she should have won over everyone else in that category. But I don't really think that anyone in that category didn't deserve the award. So I'm not too like, what? But I am very bummed for Lily Gladstone. If you haven't watched Killers of the Flower Moon, sure, it's really long, but guess what? It's on streaming right now on Apple TV Plus, where you can pause it and watch it again later when you won't get bored though. I fucking love that movie. But then again, I loved The Irishman, and a lot of people thought that movie was too long. I sat in for three. The Killers of the Flower Moon's way better than Irishman, but I thoroughly enjoyed Irishman, and it never felt like, oh, I hate this scene, except for like old man acting young scenes. But that's because I'm looking at a technical aspect. Killers of the Flower Moon is just great through and through. What, except for one weird scene where Robert De Niro spanks Leo DiCaprio with that one of those fraternity, please, sir, give me another things. It's a weird scene. And it was very similar. I'm getting off track. Lily Gladstone should have won. That would have been my choice. But I am happy for my dress broke McGee over here. So good job all around. Divine. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong too. I think it's someone who said it differently at the Oscars last night. I can't remember. I call her Divine. Joy Randolph. I should at least get her name right. Do I not have? Oh, I don't have any of the actors written down here. I was just that confident in myself. Joy Randolph. I got it right. Won for The Holdovers. She won every single award show for The Holdovers. Well deserved. Absolutely. And her Oscar speech was fucking great. And she is excellent, amazing in The Holdovers. For me personally, I'm still super happy she won. But Danielle Brooks, man, she didn't win. I don't think she won for she didn't win for the Golden Globes. I don't know if she won for like SAG. I don't think she won for several of them, because I feel like I've been reporting you the winners, and they've been relatively the same people every single time. And I'm not saying that she didn't deserve it. I'm saying that Danielle deserved some love, baby. You know, specifically for one, all of her scenes were excellent, but there was one scene that really captured me. If you haven't seen The Color Purple musical, you can check it out on Max right now. It's overall pretty good, especially, and that's coming from someone who doesn't like musicals. Was it necessary? That's another discussion that's very similar but different type of film when it comes to Mean Girls. You get the idea. Back to Danielle Brooks's performance. Excellent, but there was one scene that was so special to me, was at the dinner table scene after her character's gone through so much shit where she hasn't found joy since getting out of jail. She started to laugh uproariously after something was said at the table, and it's so joyous and it makes you laugh. You ever see such an infectious laugh over something that you may have not found funny, but the way that person's laughing brings you joy? Like you're not laughing at that person's weird fucking laugh like you've probably heard mine, but just the joy that someone else is experiencing infects you with joy. That was her scene in Color Purple musical towards the end at the dinner. And she all of a sudden started crying through the laughter. And it was kind of like a release. And it was just, oh my God, it was so real. And to go from making me feel joyful to breaking my fucking heart, oh, that's one of the best scenes I've ever watched in anything. So for that scene alone, even though the film is good, but for that scene alone, check out Color Purple musical and Danielle Brooks's performance. It was excellent. However, she didn't win. You still got the nomination, girl. You still got a long road ahead of you, and I'm very happy for Divine. She did excellent. You make me even more excited for Only Murders in the Building season 4, which just announced that Zach Galifianakis is joining the new season. They're having more and more stacked casts as the seasons progress. Anyways, who else won? Oh, who else I would have been cool with? Anyone in the category again, but Carey Mulligan, same thing. Although I've gone over this in detail in a past episode where I reviewed Maestro. You can check it out at the YouTube channel. She is one of the best actors ever, and Maestro proved that to me, and I really wanted her to be recognized. I'm still cool with Divine winning. I'm just saying, Carey was up there for me. Zone of Interest won Best International Film. It's so good, guys. I can't tell everyone to go watch it. It's not a thrilling movie. It is not a feel-good film, and there's not much dialogue, and there's not much going on. I think I saw this one with Mike as well, and he said it was fucking boring. It not much goes on, but I don't find it boring, y'all. I think it's crazy, 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 crazy. There's also one best sound, which I thought was kind of a joke because the sound in it is background noises of Auschwitz. That's not funny, but I think like in a few years we're allowed to find that. We're allowed to find that win a little ironic, at least. We can say it's ironic. Great film. I don't recommend it to everyone, but if you like films about the Holocaust and you like to be sad, and you like watching every scene being shot like a painting, the cinematography was so good in this, guys. Check out Zone of Interest. Just know it's not a thrilling movie. I'm happy with them winning, is my point. Robert Downey Jr., super happy you won, Robert. I've always loved Robert Downey Jr., especially because he's a fellow addict like me, and his tale is dope. He's gone through so much. Sure, he's a Nepo baby, but he really went through a lot. And for him to bounce back in the way he did, I'm super happy for him. Would he have been my choice? God, my lisp has really been coming back lately. Would have he been my choice? I'm happy for him, and I'll take it. And also, by the way, when he won, he was the exact same Robert Downey Jr. that we've seen always. Cracking jokes, being wise, and being humble as well, without being humble as well. Like, I don't know. I really like Robert Downey Jr. And the fact that he didn't change after his name was announced makes me like him even more. So good shit, Robert. I'm very excited for your new show. I can't remember what it's called, but it's coming out on HBO Max soon. Mark Ruffalo. That's why I was depressed. Watch Poor Things for one thing and one thing only. His name is Mark Ruffalo. He's so goddamn funny in this movie. And he plays a character that we have not seen before. And he brings a silliness to screen that we have not seen before. He's been silly in a way, but not like this, guys. He is so goddamn good in this movie. It seemed like his character was written for like only the first or like the second quarter of the film, but every time you saw him more and more, it's so great, so amazing. And I will tell you, the best scene of Poor Things, in my opinion, has no dialogue except for "go home" at the end, but it's mostly him crying outside Emma Stone's window, pulling out his hair. It's hilarious. Check it out. Poor Things is on Hulu. Anatomy of a Fall. Did it win anything? Why am I on here? Maybe I wanted it to win. It won Best Original Screenplay, I believe. It deserved it. 100%. If there's one thing I loved about this film, it's not only... Honestly, the film as a whole, I'm kind of bummed it didn't win Best Picture. I think I liked this more than Oppenheimer. I don't really know, because the second time I watched it, I will tell you one thing. After the first time seeing Oppenheimer, I liked it less than Anatomy of a Fall the only time I watched it. So I will say that. It's a very well-made film. It is like 3 hours long, but my biggest gripe with it was I wish there was more stuff in it. I wanted more of her behind closed doors. I don't want to see whether or not there's a cliffhanger ending, and I didn't want that to change necessarily. I just wanted to see more of their story. If you haven't heard about this movie, it is about a man who falls I want to say a summer house, a winter house in the Alps or some shit. Her husband falls. Is it accidental or did she murder him? And the only witness is their blind son. It's super, super well made, very French. So if you're into French shit and your name is Robin, you'll probably really like this movie. It's so good. But it also, language-wise, goes into English and also another language that isn't French. In any case, it's a great film, and it's a very well-written script. There are so many great lines in this movie. Shout out to whoever did this. Justine Triet, I believe. Very great film. Very happy it won. Cord Jefferson won for Best Adapted Screenplay or Original. I can't remember. You know where I'm getting at. This was for American Fiction. Very, very, very well made film. You can check it out on MGM Plus. I don't know a soul that has MGM Plus. I'm surprised it's still a thing, but it is. And I think American Fiction needs to be streaming on more things because it was advertised as a comedy. Don't walk in thinking that it's a comedy, because at first I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this movie too much. It doesn't seem that funny, and it's because it's not that funny. It's more real than you actually know. But Cord Jefferson, the writer and director, I believe, I only had a few hours to put this together, guys. It's been a very busy few days. Cord Jefferson had a very great acceptance speech. The parts that I liked specifically were when he talked about not investing $200 million into one film, but investing $200 million into 2010 million dollar films, or you get it. You know, independent. He wants independent films being made. So shout out to Cord. Good shit. The dialogue was quick-witted too, but I liked the writing more of story and structure. I did want a different ending, but I was okay. I lied. There was one little nod, a literal nod at the end, which I talk about in more depth in the American Fiction review, which you can watch on Jermaine Higgins Presents YouTube channel. But I'm very happy he won. Next, Godzilla -1. Watch. What next? Godzilla -1 won Best Visual Effects. That was better. Excellent movie. One of the best Godzilla movies. It might be my favorite. It's between that or Godzilla King of Monsters or Shin Godzilla. There's all the Godzillas are great, but those are my top three. This film was amazing, and the visual effects were awesome. I don't know why. I laughed because I thought about one scene where a girl like flies away. I don't want to give away too much, but it looked like it. I heard people gasp like, "Oh no!" But I laughed because it just looked funny. I don't know. Anyways, great visual effects. Great movie though. Go see it for the film. Like, it's got a good story too, guys. Watch Poor Things on Hulu. Oh, this is probably my favorite. It really, Killers of the Flower Moon is probably my favorite amongst all the best pictures. I wouldn't have picked Oppenheimer personally. I think Oppenheimer is a tad overrated. I loved it way more the second time I watched it, but I still think like I think more people are saying it's one of the best films ever made because other people are saying that. I think the internet is saying that, so you're saying that. But, you know, that's also me being a little bit of a hater, even though I'm saying it was very good. Poor Things is way more entertaining to me. I think I just wanted to tell you guys, watch Poor Things on Hulu, but I think Anatomy of a Fall is probably a better, well-rounded drama. Killers of the Flower Moon was probably my pick. There you go. And it's not just because of Scorsese. It's because when it comes to pissing away a picture, when it comes to picking a best picture at the Academy Awards, for me, when it comes to giving something an award of that magnitude, I'm trying to edge out all the elements of it and how they look combined. Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall, and Oppenheimer did all the things right. I just didn't think it was that great. But Killers of the Flower Moon, it had everything. And the extra layer that it had was the film is different the second half, and the antagonist that is portrayed as a protagonist at first is an interesting journey into this mystery that's not a mystery, and it's just betrayal and fucked upness and history. All right, we done? We're done. What was the new movies of this week? What was the new movies of this week? Well, I'll tell you, backup singers. Rickety Stanicky was the comedy of the week. If you haven't seen Rickety Stanicky, it is on Prime right now. When three childhood best friends pull a prank that goes horribly wrong, they invent the imaginary Ricky Stanicky to get them out of trouble. It's something that they've done since childhood. And they've used it so much that they created a Bible of all the lies that they have told about their imaginary friend, Rickety. I always call him Rickety Stanicky, but Ricky Stanicky. And when a lie has gone too far and their now adult families want to meet this supposedly real Ricky Stanicky. It's up to Zac Efron, Andrew Santino, and Jermaine Fowler to hire John Cena, a drunk, like an alcoholic stripper. Like, I guess you'd call him a stripper. He's more of a performer. He's an actor, but he succeeds in stripping to portray Ricky Stanicky and everything, hijinks and stew. Poppin' or not, super poppin'. One of the best comedies I've seen in a long time. Remember Superbad or Blockers or the 40-Year-Old Virgin? You get the point. Knocked Up, those like hard R comedies that you'd see in theaters and everyone would talk about and you'd get excited and everyone get, we're young and let's go see R-rated comedy and it'll be very funny and it won't be the same 4 jokes that you've heard all the time. This movie has that. It's got original comedy in it. It's so funny. I'm sure like a lot of jokes you can compare to other jokes, but I don't care. I think this movie was hilarious. I think John Cena is like the GOAT of, maybe not the GOAT. The GOAT, let's calm down. He's on the GOAT lists, I guess, of comedies. He picks extremely great comedies. Zac Efron picks great comedies too. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. What's the one? Neighbors. I even like Neighbors too. He's done a couple other comedies. He picks good ones. Santino's dope. Jermaine Fowler's dope. William H. Macy shows up. Just a great comedy. I can't say enough positive things about it. Instead, I'll just tell you some facts. This was originally attached to James Franco, then Joaquin Phoenix, which I think would have been the best choice. And then it was like almost cemented to be Jim Carrey, but I think he backed out. And I think we all wanted that the most, but I think Joaquin Phoenix would have been a perfect choice because he would have played it straight. And this guy is Joaquin Phoenix, basically. He is a method actor and he does his research. Great movie. It's so poppin', it's crisp. We gotta start making different lists and like Hall of Fames and shit. We gotta do some different stuff with the show, guys. See Ricky Stanicky on Prime right now. I loved it. Now the movie, I want to use the word love. I really do. Damsel stars Millie Bobby Brown as a dutiful damsel who agrees to marry a handsome prince only to find... I don't know if I should read this. No, I'll read it because you will eventually understand like what happens in this movie. I mean, maybe not. All right, let me tell you what happens in the beginning. The beginning is her land is poor. It's a fairy tale. So the first positive thing I will say about it being a fairy tale is this is one of the best fairy tales I've seen on screen that's not based on any story. I mean, it is like the generic damsel in distress, but everything about the film is a fairy tale. Any comedic moments that are in it are not like winking at something contemporary, but only funny in the imaginary world that is written as if it were in a storybook that you've told to your kids, but you see it on screen in 2024 on Netflix. Like, I was just really shocked at all the original. There's a lot of original shit that happens in it too. And like, allegory is not the right word. I guess allegorical in the sense of like womanhood and stuff. Before I get to that, let's crawl before we walk. Walk before you run. That's better. I don't want to crawl. I don't like crawling. My knees, they're bad. I don't like them. So she's getting married to like the royal fucking prince, and she has to go to a ceremony after getting married to him. And long story short, she finds herself trapped in a dragon's lair. And it's like Die Hard, but in a dragon lair, starring Millie Bobby Brown. It's so good. I love escape movies too, like Die Hard. But there are other movies that I just thought of Die Hard a lot with this, specifically because like the injuries she gets and she has to use only the dress that she has to use as tools to her survival. Survival survival films, I guess. This is like a survival film. There's not that much dialogue, which I was a little bummed, but I still love Millie Bobby Brown. So if you don't remember my love for Millie Bobby Brown, I liked her a lot in Stranger Things, but I didn't think much because she didn't have much dialogue, and she mostly did this and bled from her nose very well. She still doesn't have much dialogue, even though the bitch speaks English, and you don't see her in much else except for Enola Holmes, which I didn't love the first one. I loved the second one, but I loved Millie Bobby Brown in the first one. Like, I was like, this movie's okay, but she's fucking awesome. I love talking to the camera shit too. Did she do that? Maybe I'm making that part up. Maybe she was just narrating. I can't remember. I don't know. Enola Holmes 2 is really good. Very underrated. I love her as an actor, and because I got to see what she can do with dialogue and with more like comedy, not just this. Not just like a teenage role that's not to dog Stranger Things in any way, but there's not much other emotions except for I'm learning life and being human. You know, that's like one thing. Enola Holmes has, more character. Damsel has more character. She's super dope. She's a badass in it. The dragon is really good. Really, really good. One of the best movie dragons I've ever seen, specifically the dragon's fiery breath. I don't want to give away too much, but watch this on Netflix right now. I think I've sold it enough. It's dope. Watch it with your kids. Have your kids watch this. If you have a daughter and she likes princesses, have her watch this. It's very good. I really, really enjoyed this. I really did. I didn't think I had an okay feeling about it because I like Millie Bobby Brown. But yeah, I've sucked this teat a little too much. What's next? We're going into television, not Poor Things. Poor Things you can watch on Hulu. The Gentleman was the only new series that I watched this week. I only watched the first 2 episodes. If you don't remember, The Gentleman is based off of a movie that with the same name, which is this was the Guy Ritchie movie with Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam and Michelle Dory and Henry, I can't remember his last name, James? Henry, it's that Asian actor, Gold, whatever. It was a great movie. If you love Guy Ritchie, check it out. You have to rent it, though. Back to the show. The show is slightly different, except Guy Ritchie helped develop it so much so that he wrote and directed the first couple episodes along with another writer who helped him write the scripts, which you can kind of tell because it's not full-on Guy Ritchie, but it has a lot of Ritchie-isms. When an aristocratic Eddie, played by Theo Rossi, what the fuck, he's a Theo, inherits the family estate, he discovers that it's home to an enormous weed empire, and its proprietors aren't going anywhere. Proprietor being played by Kaya Scodelario from Skins. Jolie Richardson, who you hardly see in the first couple episodes, from Nip Tuck, and Vinnie Jones from Guy Ritchie shit, Bullet Tooth Tony. And Ray Winstone, which I haven't seen yet. Also, I didn't finish the second episode. Not because I didn't want to. I live a life now. I don't only watch movies and television. It's surprising, but I actually do so many other things that I'm not. You think I watch too much? You're wrong. You're wrong, baby. I haven't watched enough, and I want to watch more. Before we get to that, Poppin' or not? It's poppin'. I would just rather watch the movie. I haven't finished the show. In the first 20 minutes of the first episode, I was like, I don't know about. Oh, Gus Fring's in this too. I know his name, but I'm not going to try to say it because I always fuck it up, even though I think it's a lot easier than I'm letting on. But Giancarlo Esposito, something like that. Gus Fring, he's in this too. Very good in it too. He's perfect for the role he's in with this. It's popping. It's funny. It's like crime, dark humor. The guy who plays the brother in this, I don't have his name written down because I have this cast list written before I started the show, so I didn't know he's going to be that big in it. He's really dope. He's very funny. He's so annoying though. I'm an only child, and Now I am trustworthy. Now I have been a piece of shit before, but now I'm trustworthy enough, I promise, to be a very, very loyal person to you. If I love you and I care about you, I'm going to. I've always jumped in front of a bullet for people, but I don't know if I would jump in front of a bullet for the brother of this guy. He's such a fuck up. All this guy does is try to save his brother's life, and his brother just keeps trying to commit suicide, basically by gambling and all that shit. Anyways, he's very good in this. The brother's good. Everyone's good in it. It's popping. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't really give you a full-on recommendation. But I will say, if you like Guy Ritchie shit, you will probably enjoy this show. Just know this isn't a remake. I wouldn't call it a remake of the movie. It's more of a reimagining, kind of. Similar to Get Shorty. I didn't read the book of Get Shorty, but watching the movie and watching the TV show, it's kind of like that. So be a judge for yourself and check it out on Netflix right now. I would recommend watching the movie first, which you can rent for $4. Now into some news. R.I.P. Akira Toriyama. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. This is the creator of Dragon Ball. This might not be a big deal to the people that don't watch Dragon Ball, but to a person that only watched Dragon Ball Z, quit during Kid Buu saga, which everyone gets me shit about because it was the last saga of Dragon Ball Z. Why would you quit? I fucking hated Buu, and I didn't know it was going to be the last one, guys. I didn't know. I will get back to it someday. He helped really. I would say if it weren't for Dragon Ball Z, not as many, specifically Americans, would be into anime as much. My intro to anime was Dragon Ball Z specifically. And I think I wouldn't give anime as much of a shot with any time it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z. And I still don't give it enough, and I will give it enough. It's just, for me personally, I don't like long fucking 7-episode arcs of powering up. And Dragon Ball Z did that often. I'm not going to hold it against this guy. The show is amazing. And I think he started a revolution in animation and storytelling in animation. And I think that he deserves a lot of credit. And I think that he deserves to be a household name, even if you don't watch anime. I didn't know his name before he passed away. And I think it's kind of fucky that we need to know more about iconic people through death as opposed to when they're living. And just sometimes that's how it be. So how it be with Akira Toriyama, RIP. Check out Dragon Ball at least Dragon Ball Z is on Funimation and Crunchyroll. In other news, a little lighter news, Conan O'Brien is coming back in Conan Needs to Go on Max. It is going to be a travel show. Very smart decision, by the way, because his highest rated or highest amount of views of clips were those of Conan Without Borders, I think it was called. And that was just him going to different countries. This is him going to different countries again. But specifically, so he had a podcast, Conan Needs a Friend. And it's a very great podcast. Check it out. I love it. I love it a lot. But there was Conan Needs a Fan, where he would talk to a fan every episode, and it was just like a random person you may have never heard of. And actually, fun fact, the first one he had was Dan Housen, who I used to work with. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. I feel cool. Honestly, we didn't know each other very well at all when we worked together. We hardly talked to each other, but we had similar taste in films. He has very, very great taste in comedy specifically. And I don't watch wrestling, but I've watched clips of him. Very great shit, Dan Housen. So he is someone he's actually pretty famous. You might not know. Conan needs a friend. Conan needs a fan. The fans, he would always say, yeah, maybe I'll come visit you sometime. That's what this show is. He actually visits the fans that has been on Conan Needs a Friend. Maybe not all the time, but at least sometimes. Maybe he'll come to Michigan. I doubt it, though. This will be back on Max, so this will become a thing on Max April 14th. It's in April. I don't have the date written down. I'm not very good at my job. Not the last Airbender after all. The last Airbender, the live action television series, has been greenlit for seasons 2 and 3. Awesome. I still haven't finished the first episode of this. And it's only because I haven't finished the animated series yet, which I'm still currently watching right now. It's the first time I've ever watched it. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Even as an adult, like, I get that I will watch a lot of, you'll notice I'll still watch a lot of animation. Even kids' movies, I'll still watch. This show is one of the best kids' products I've ever seen. It's very, very good storytelling. And it's hilarious. That's why I didn't love this show too much. I didn't think it had enough fun in it. However, I think that it was doing its job well enough as I watched. And I'm happy for seasons 2 and 3. And I'm in season 3 right now of the animated series. And it only had 3 seasons, which means this live action series will run its entire course of remaking the original. So I'm happy. I just hope that it gets better. I've heard good things from other people that have finished it. And other news, this isn't really popcorn popping material, but sometimes I talk about stand-up because that's something that's streaming. I don't think I've ever talked about boxing before, besides like boxing films, or like I haven't talked about actual matches. But Netflix has been getting into the live event thing, which I think is a very good idea. And Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is going to be live on Netflix July 20th. I am not a boxing guy. I love boxing, though. I just don't watch it. I don't watch sports. That's how manly I am. I play sports, baby. I don't need to watch them. And by sports, I mean the sport of watching movies and television. If you're curious who I think is going to win, who I'm rooting for is Mike Tyson. I fucking hate the Pauls. I really do. I don't think I have enough reason to be honest. And I don't even know which one this is. But I don't like them. I think that they're douchey, but I don't know them very well. It's definitely me judge. I mean, the internet, do we know anyone really? I want Mike Tyson to win. I think I watched some videos of him recently, like training and shit. I hear that Jake Paul, is that Jake or Logan? I don't know if I got the right person. I hear that he is a very, very good fighter. I have heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard it. So I will say, if the Paul wins, does that make him like a great fighter? Mike Tyson's 57. Like you're 27. You're fighting an old man. And that's not me throwing shade at Mike Tyson. I will never fuck with Mike Tyson. No one really should fuck with Mike Tyson. But that's my point. No one should, a 27-year-old shouldn't be like shoving Mike Tyson. But obviously this is for money and Mike Tyson's going to make a shit ton of it. And he probably really thinks that he can beat him. I don't know though. I have no idea. I really want Mike Tyson to win though. Let me know who you think will win. This fight will be live on Netflix July 20th. So we got a while. All right. What is in my rotation? Shogun, which I talked about in depth. It's still very good. One of the best shows ever. It's just connective tissue wise. Sometimes things don't make sense. Like trying to stop someone from looking in a cart. They're like, don't look in there. We got to hurry. And like, it just wouldn't happen. Like little things like that. That's probably from the book. If you don't know what Shogun is, set in Japan in the year 1600, Lord Yoshi Toranaga is fighting for his life as his enemies on the Council of Regions unite against him when a mysterious European ship is found marooned in a nearby fishing village. Check the show out on Hulu Tuesdays and on FX Tuesdays at 10. Excellent series. Obviously, it's more of a serious show, but it's an epic miniseries. Check it out. It's fucking glorious. If you like samurai shit, it's kind of like that. Another show that I'm digging right now that I didn't think I would. I haven't finished the newest episode, but The Regime with Kate Winslet, a year within the palace of a modern European authoritarian regime as it unravels. This is a comedy. Kate Winslet's very good at comedy. Check this out Sundays on Max. They only got 2 episodes out so far. Bad Batch's newest episode is the best that they've had for a very long time because the crew's back together, even though one of them's dead. Spoiler alert. I won't tell you who it is, though. This newest episode's been my favorite in a long time. You can check this new episodes out on Disney Plus Wednesdays. This is a Star Wars show. Don't let the animation fool you. This show's not for kids. Not to say it's violent. It's just got very adult themes. Tokyo Vice. Fucking love this show. Ansel Elgort and Ken Watanabe stars in a show about Jake Edelstein, an American journalist who plugs into the Tokyo Vice police squad and descends into the neon underbelly of Tokyo. Excellent show. Check this out on Max Thursdays. Oh my God. I love the pacing. I think that might be my favorite. The acting and the pacing is so fucking good. Check it out. It's very, very good. Curb Yo Enthusiasm, still hilarious. It's the Larry David Show. Not much else to say. All right. Honorable mentions of things I haven't seen that you may want to go see. Maybe I do want to watch it, but I didn't have time, or it didn't look good, but it's popular enough for me to mention. For instance, nope. Well, I still haven't watched this. I want to watch this, but this isn't what I thought was going to be next. I'm choking again. I don't have salsa, so good thing. If you didn't watch that episode, I drank salsa when I was choking. I don't have it now. It's a good thing. I'm having a Reese's. Leave me alone. All right. This is me now. I still haven't watched this. I want to watch this on Prime. I really do. I think it's going to be bad, but I'm interested. It's the J-Lo weird movie based on her life, but not really. I don't know. Sounds interesting. But, what the fuck? I fucked up on the slides. Watch The Marvels on Disney Plus. I love it. And I rewatched it. Still love it. It's underrated. Watch the movie. No! What the hell's going on? All right. No, I might have to reset things as we go. But this is what I want to talk about next. Imaginary. If you haven't seen it before, you haven't. I don't think anyone went to go see this. It's about a woman who returns to her childhood home. Fuck. Damn it. A woman that returns to her childhood home to discover that the imaginary friend she left behind is very real and unhappy she abandoned him. This stars DeWanda Weiss from what's that movie called? It's not called She Ain't All That. What the hell is it called? Guys, help me out. It's the Spike Lee show. It was based off of his first film. I don't want to look at the title. I have to look at the title. What the fuck is this movie or show? I swear it exists. This is embarrassing. God damn it. She's something. Ugh. Is this not real? Am I making this up? She's got to have it. She's got to have it. Well, she doesn't have to have this movie. I didn't watch this. This is among the honorable mentions. I dishonorably not mentioned this last week because I forgot. I don't know how it slipped through the cracks. This looks like a very bad horror movie. That's it. She's versing this imaginary bear creature. And the story doesn't sound like any... It's not because of the story that I don't want to see it. But I just... Okay, thank you, Robin. I knew it existed. I was like, it's not that. It's like that, but it isn't. She's got to have it. She's got to have it. It's pretty good show, by the way. I didn't watch season 2, but check out the first season. Anyways, Imaginary. I've heard terrible things, which makes me want to watch it more. I love bad contemporary horror movies. So if you have seen this, please tell me if I should go to the movie theaters to watch it. I think a lot of stuff's coming out next week, though. I can't remember. We'll find out soon. But I hear it's bad. So don't go see it. It's probably not good. I want to watch it, though, because I like bad horror. Next. All right, cool. We are just those previous slides are just fucky. Kung Fu Panda 4. I watched Kung Fu Panda 1. I really enjoyed it, but, you know, a lot like Despicable Me. I think I watched the second one, and I was like, I'm done. And like 17's coming out soon. I love Jack Black. I like Awkwafina. No, I love Jack Black. I like Awkwafina. I love Viola Davis. Viola Davis is a voice in this. I loved the like little videos that they're posting online, specifically of the news run that they're going through right now. What's it called? PR that they're doing right now. I love that, but I watched the trailer for this and 3 and 2, and I just wasn't that interested. Like, these movies are not made for me. But I love my boy Jack Black. This is the biggest movie that's coming out next week, is my point. Imaginary, by the way, is... Fuck, I did delete the ones, didn't I? Or is this out? I'm confused about what I did. This is out right now, right? Jesus. Yeah, this is out right now. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Okay, I remember. I got it. I'm not going to watch this, but if you want to take your kids to go see something, Kung Fu Panda 4 is out. Skadoosh. First-time female director. I don't know if this is even in theaters around me, but this is Chelsea Peretti's new film about a writer that steps in as a first-time director to avoid putting the play she's written in jeopardy. Barely surviving rehearsals, Sam vents to her therapist and tries some unconventional tactics to wrangle her eclectic cast and make her play a success. Chelsea Peretti, Blake Anderson, Megan Mullally, Max Greenfield and Amy Poehler, and Jordan Peele's in at least one scene. It looks very funny. I just didn't have time to see it. Super Sex on Netflix. This is about Rocco Siffredi. If you don't know who he is, you probably don't want to watch this show. I didn't watch it. I don't know if it's for me. I find the world of pornography very interesting, and it looks like a sexy show. It might be very good, but I do know that Rocco's life is controversial, and his acting methods are controversial, and I don't know. It might be good. I actually don't know if it's any good, but I am interested. The cinematography looks really good, which is such a stupid thing to say about pornography, but sometimes I think that with pornography, but I will say that about a show about pornography, the cinematography looks really good. Animal Control. I don't watch this, but the new season started. I love Joel McHale. This is on Fox Wednesdays. Oh, Super Sex is on Netflix. Animal Control is on Wednesdays. Extraordinary started their new season. I think the show looks kind of funny. It's just got too much of a sitcom-y vibe for me. But adrift in a big, confusing world and armed with nothing but a bit of hope and a lot of desperation, Jen brings her journey to find her maybe superpower. In doing so, she might discover the joy of being just okay. This is on Hulu. I don't know if it's the whole season or if it's on Wednesdays, but it's out. I hear funny things, and it got a season 2, so it's probably decent. All right, this is what's coming out next week. The American Society of Magical Negroes. What a title. This stars Justice Smith and David Allen Greer about a young man, Aaron, is recruited into a secret society of magical black people who dedicate their lives to a cause, just magical black people who dedicate their lives to a cause of utmost importance, making white people's lives easier. I didn't know that's what it was about. I watched most of the trailer. I was already down when I saw the title and who was in it. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll watch this. I love David Allen Greer, and I'm actually very excited for him because I hope this movie does very well. I don't know if the title's going to translate, though. I really don't. I love it, but I do. It's a strange title. The American Society of Magical Negroes. And I feel like I have to say it in like that voice. Interesting title. But I love the trailer too, where Justice Smith's character goes, maybe you should call it something else. Anyways, the only thing I'm skeptical about is in watching the trailer, I like the first half of it about this society, about this like weird black Harry Potter. But I don't really care for the second half, which seems to be what the movie's about. And that's Justice Smith using his magical powers to try to get with this girl who I hope is of color and not just some white girl. But I can't tell. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's how me's are born. I just was making a joke. Poppin' or not, I think it'll be poppin'. I think it'll have a lot more heart than we're all anticipating. And I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to go see it, though. That title is a big swing. I'm kind of excited to find out that it succeeds greatly because I really, really love David Allen Greer. Anyways, we're at the 1 hour mark. It's time to hurry it up. Arthur the King, probably the most. This is probably going to win the box office next week. It's a dog movie with Matt Damon. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not really into the dog movies. That last one with, what's his name? Not John Cena. He looks like a beat up guy as well. The hell's his name? He's from 21 Jump Street. Channing Tatum. That Channing Tatum dog movie was pretty good. This looks pretty good as well. An adventure racer adopts a stray dog named Arthur to join him in an epic endurance race. I think it's based off of a true story. I don't really care. I love heartfelt stories. When you see a dog movie, you're like, a dog movie. I think every actor does it. But there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't really, I don't know. It looks all right. Maybe I'll go see it. I like dog movies. I don't think I've ever gone to the theater to watch a dog movie, though. That I don't think I've done. So I don't know if I'll do it this time. But you can if you want. Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart. Kristen. I always say Kirsten. It's Kirsten Dunst and Kristen Stewart. Katie O'Brien, Ed Harris, Dave Franco, I forgot, Jenna Malone. Star in a movie about a gym manager, Lou, who falls for Jackie, a bodybuilder who is passing through town en route to a competition in Las Vegas. And I think it's like a bodybuilding competition. This girl's ripped. She basically looks like Abby from Last of Us 2. Poppin' or not, I think this movie's going to be weird. And you're probably, if you don't know what this movie is and you heard me just say, oh, you're probably thinking it's weird because it's about female empowerment and a woman being strong. No, I'm down for all that. If you watch the trailer, this looks like a weird movie. So I'm kind of excited for the weirdness. And I actually like that there's movies and stuff coming out with like buffer girls. I don't find it unattractive. I'm just saying it's not something I'm like, oh, dope, a bodybuilder girl. So when I say I'm happy for that because it's making other people pissed off. Like, I'm not happy that Abby from Last of Us got like death threats and shit. Is her name Abby in it? I think her name's Abby. She got that actor got death threats and shit because people were pissed off that a swole girl was having a storyline in a video game. There are those in the world. I don't know. It's just silly. Anyways, I like Kristen Stewart. Really, trailer wise, I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie. I do like Dave Franco too. I don't think he's gonna last long in the film. It just looks like a strange film. Will I go to theaters? I would rather see American Society of Magical Negroes. If I have time, I'd rather see Arthur the King than Love Lies Bleeding. But you can go see it Thursday in theaters if you'd like. Knox goes away. I don't think this will be in every theater. I think this will be in select theaters. This is Michael Keaton's directorial debut about when a contract killer has a rapidly evolving form of dementia. He is offered an opportunity to redeem himself by saving the life of the adult son with whom he has been estranged. This also stars Al Pacino, Marcia Gay Harden, James Marsden, and Leela Loren from Power. I haven't seen her in a movie, I don't think. I'm very happy she's getting in one. This movie looks actually pretty well made. I don't think the storyline is, I guess it's kind of original. An assassin that gets dementia. I think that's pretty interesting. It's just the first half of the trailer, I was like, I don't know. It looks like I've seen this movie before. It looks like you're trying to be an old man that can still kick ass and be a badass. But the second half of the trailer looked a little more unique. So I think it will be popping. I can't give you a report of whether or not you should go see it. I would say out of all the movies I said to go that is new coming out, yes to Magical Negroes. Always yes to Magical Negroes. Yes to Arthur the King, especially if you have kids. But I don't think it'll be anything. I think it'll be a good dog movie, but I don't think that in itself is special. Usually all the dog movies are good because it makes you cry. Love Lies is... Oh, one thing about Arthur the King is the guy who directed Family Plan, that Mark Wahlberg film, that comedy, he did it, and I like that movie, so Arthur the King would be good. Love Lies Bleeding. Maybe, but it'll be weird. Knox goes away. Sure. I think this will be an okay action. If you want to go see action this week, check out this. I think this will be a decent action movie. Next, American Dreamer. I don't know. Peter Dinklage is Phil, who's a dreamer. Most dreams don't come true. Phil hates that. That's not going to stop Phil from dreaming. He rents a room in this woman's mansion, and he tries to get himself on her will after finding out that she's on death's door or something. I don't know. It looks kind of funny. It's just, I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't go to theaters to watch this. It's called American Dreamer. Go check it out if it's something you're interested in. Snack Shack in theaters Thursday. These two kids in the 90s start a Snack Shack. The only reason I'm mentioning this, the only reason I mention these movies isn't really to talk shit. It's really because you're like, well, hey, if you don't think this movie looks good, why are you talking about it? The idea of this show is, hey, Tony, I saw on my tablet, this was originally a newspaper when I started this pantomime, but it's 2024. You're not reading a newspaper. Hey, Tony, I heard on my tablet that one of the movies coming out this week is such and such, i.e. Snake Shack. I don't know what this is. What is it? I just told you what it is. Nebraska City, 1991. Two best friends get this chance to run the swimming pool Snack Shack that later comes to a perfect scenario for transgression, fun, personal discovery, and romance. Check out the trailer. It doesn't look like anything. That's what it is. What else is coming out on streaming? The only reason I'm mentioning this, I'm not watching this, but I am very happy for Lindsay Lohan because I haven't seen her in a while, besides Mean Girls musical. When the love of Lindsay Lohan's life gets engaged to her best friend, really? That sucks. Maddie puts her feelings aside to be a bridesmaid at their wedding in Ireland. Oh, it's so, yeah, I watched the trailer to this. It's my best friend's wedding, but less good. Days before the wedding, Maddie makes a spontaneous wish for true love, only to wake up as the bride-to-be. I lied. This looks like a pretty decent Lifetime movie. It's Freaky Friday meets my best friend's wedding. Not a bad idea, actually. But after watching the trailer, you can tell it's very Lifetimey. So know that. Poppin' or not, it's popping for probably some of you, but probably not for me. If I find out that this movie's decent, though, I might watch it. But the only reason I'm interested is because what I just read you sounds like, okay, yeah, sure. If she woke up and she's the bride, like, I don't know, it's wacky. If this was like Mean Girls comedy, it would be really good. If this was made back in Lindsay Lohan's prime, it would have been good. So why can't it be good anymore, Tony? Because I don't think the same like comedic writers would work on this. I'm getting to places. I'm just also discovering along with you. The Frida documentary is coming out on Prime this Thursday. I don't watch documentaries, so I don't have much to say about this. But if you want to check out Frida with Salma Hayek, it's probably on on Prime. Let's see. I didn't have that written down. Pluto. It's on Pluto, so it's free. Check it out. Another television series. I think I'm gonna announce this. So the second half of Invincible is coming out. Is starting Friday, and it will be weekly. If you haven't watched Invincible before, excellent show. Watch it sincerely. Even if you don't watch cartoons, even if you don't like superhero shit, watch it. It's really fucking good. Yeah, I can announce this. No one watches this anyway. So this Saturday, we're doing a soft open for a live discussion of Invincible, but it's going to be, so it's called Watch Party. All right. It's going to be at Planet Ants Black Box Theater Saturdays at 10:30 p.m. where amongst games and prizes, you get to watch an episode of a show that has recently aired for now and watch a panel of people discuss it. in which you'll eventually, not now, be able to change the channel. Meaning you're going to go there, you're going to see like me being like, oh, hi, how's it going? Let's play a few games. We'll do some trivia. We'll eat some popcorn. You can grab a drink from the Ghost Light across the street and bring it back and get fucked up. You can smoke weed in the backyard. We will have an intermission where you get to do that. And we'll talk about movies and television afterwards. And we're basically thinking that each panelist's job is to convince the audience to not watch the show anymore or to continue watching the show. I got to remember that. I never really phrased it that way, and I got to talk about it with the group. Anyways, this is something I've been a part of trying to make for a while. I believe I'm going to be the host first, but we are going to be rotating hosts. Trust me, I want to host every week. But this is something that we want the whole theater to be involved with, and I want this group, I do too, want to see these people host as well, because it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to help shape something and then walk away from it and see how it is. But I'm working with a really cool array of people. Bryce Huffman, Julia, I can't remember your last name, John Dewar, Jimmy, I can't remember your last name, Murray, and I feel like I'm missing someone. No. Julia, I can't remember your last name, though. I feel bad. Anyways, really cool group of people. We got a lot of cool ideas percolating right now. But this Saturday will be the soft open. What's a soft open? It's not an erect open. Bad joke. It won't be looking great. It will probably be very awkward, but you can come over for free for now and watch the newest episode of Invincible. We'll be airing it at Saturday at the Black Box at 10:30. And like I said, you can have drinks, smoke in the backyard, watch it. It'll be fun. Poppin' or not, I hope the second half is popping because we waited stupid long for it to be on. But I'm excited to talk about it at the Planet Ants watch party. Like I said, this Saturday's free and it's word of mouth. So this is my mouth wording to you what's going on. But next Saturday, the 23rd at 10:30 will be opening night of watch party where we watch the newest episode of Invincible and talk it over afterwards. Someone is making an Eventbrite for it soon. I gotta wrap this up. I'm so tired. And yeah, hopefully it'll be cool. What a great sales pitch. I'm getting so bored of what I'm telling you that I'm tired. Next, Manhunt. Manhunt. This is about the aftermath of the first American presidential assassination. I think you know who I'm talking about. He wears a giant hat. And the fight to preserve and protect the ideals that were the foundation of Lincoln's Reconstruction plans. I believe this is not real as well. I don't really know anyone too much in it except for Matt Walsh. The star of it, I've seen him in shit before, but Matt Walsh, who I love, comedic actor, if you don't know the name, hilarious. He's from Deep. Kind of surprised he's in the serious show. But this seems like a interesting series that is definitely a drama. It sounds interesting. So check it out on Apple TV Plus. Let's see. We have some people talking about some stuff. Robin, it is at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. I know it's weirdly late. That's one reason that we picked a fun show like Invincible. Because you want to party on Saturday nights, right? Come to our watch party and party. We almost picked Shogun. That's not a party show. Invincible is more of a party show. Let me see. Ripley is listening to me while stuck in traffic. Go traffic! I love you, traffic. So, that's one way I'll try to sell this show is if you're stuck in traffic and don't know what to watch when you get home after being pissed off at a day of work, watch Popcorn Poppin'. Thank you for listening and watching. I appreciate it. Also, let me know if you'd listen to podcasts of this, if I should go on Apple Music or anything. I don't know, maybe. This is supposed to be more sketch-based, but I don't have time right now. I'm waiting for this class to end. Anyways, Manhunt. Will it pop? I think so. It's more of a historical drama, so I don't know if I'll be too into it. Hopefully so, but it's going to be on Apple TV Plus Fridays. Apples Never Fall, starring Gillian Jacobs, Annette Bening, Sam Neill, and Jake Lacey, when the Delaney matriarch, am I saying that right? Suddenly goes missing. Her 4 children are left to piece together everything they thought they knew about their parents. I didn't know it was about someone missing. I thought it was about someone that died. So I'm a little more interested in this show. I love Allison Brie, and I will watch it specifically for her. I do also really love, I really like Sam Neill and Annette Bening. Jake Lacey's okay, but I don't know. I hated that he ended up with Aaron in The Office. Will the show pop? It looks too melodramatic. It looks like a CW show or an ABC. It seems like an ABC drama, an ABC mystery. I'm not too thrilled about it, but I love Allison Brie, so I'll at least give it a shot. Peacock Thursday. Girls on the Bus go on Max Thursday. It's about 4 female journalists who follow every move of a parade of flawed presidential candidates, starring Carla Gugino, Melissa Benoist, Christina Elmore, and Natasha Benham. Carla Gugino, I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce your name because I'm going to see you at the Motor City Comic Con. That's right. I'm going to pay to meet you because I love you. You're so awesome. If you don't recognize her, she's the Spy Kids mom, but I know her from Sin City. And what do I really know her from? The Fall of the House of Usher, and she was the Raven, or I'm sorry, the mysterious woman. Something else. What do I always think of? I really think of Sin City, to be honest. Anyways, will this show pop or not? It looks kind of fun, but it looks like it touches on serious subjects. So, serious subjects. No, I'll give it a shot, but I don't think I'm gonna like it. Maybe you will, though. It seems like a Bombshell, but a little more fun. Bombshell was with Margot Robbie, John Lithgow, and Charlize Theron, and was Nicole Kidman in that? I don't know. It looks like that. Check us out on Max Thursday, and let me know because I don't think I'm gonna watch. No, I'll try it. Girls 5 Eva, I won't try. This will be the 3rd or 2nd season, which is about. God damn it! Fuck. It's my throat telling me to shut up. That I've been talking too much. I promise we're almost done. This is the 3rd to last thing we're talking about. Stay tuned. When a one-hit wonder girl group from the 1990s gets sampled by a young rapper, its members reunite to give their pop star dreams one more shot, this time while balancing spouses, kids, jobs, debt, aging parents, and shoulder pain. This was originally a Peacock series that is now going to be on Netflix. I'm very happy because I really like the cast. I can't name one of them because I don't have any of them written down. One of them, Sarah Bareilles, who did I'm Not Gonna Write You love song. And the girl from Hamilton, I know that because I finally finished Hamilton. Busy Phillips. I like Busy Phillips. And that writer, I don't know her name. She's very good. I'll look it up some other time and let you know. Anyways, pop it or not, it looks funny. I might try it. I might give it like an honest shot from the beginning. You can check it out on the new season out on Netflix Thursday, and I believe the first season's on Netflix right now. The final thing. No, this isn't the final thing, but close. I'm very excited for this. What am I very excited for? This is something I don't think I will ever be as excited for ever again in my life. If you have a moment after the show is over, look up the trailer for Chicken Nugget. This television show will be, yes, Sarah, love song does slap. It is one of my favorite songs. I've listened to it way too much. If there's a love song I want to write for, it is for the show Chicken Nuggets, the television show about a woman who steps into an odd machine and becomes a chicken nugget. Now, it's up to her father and her admirer to embark on a zany quest to bring her back. It's The Fly, but with a chicken nugget. This show sounds so goddamn stupid, and I watched the trailer, and I gotta watch this show. It looks so funny. It looks so stupid. I'm down. It is, I think it's Korean. Let me check. So stupid. A chicken nugget. It's like Rob Schneider. I'm a woman. Oh, I'm an animal. Oh, I'm a stapler. Korean, yeah, it's Korean. So know that. Isn't that crazy? Someone was really high, watched The Fly, ate a chicken nugget, got dumped by his girlfriend, and went, "Oh man, that sucks. Oh, this chicken nugget's almost as beautiful as the love of my life. If only I could have both at the same time." This is coming out on Netflix Friday. Will it pop? I don't think any of you are going to watch it, but please watch this with me. Finally, fuck. Swifties go Swifty on Disney Plus Thursday. I don't want to give this Swift woman any more airtime. I mean, why not? I don't know why I'm hating. I really have nothing against Taylor Swift. I just don't like the comparison to Beyonce. Numbers don't lie, but I don't know. She's also kind of fake, and I don't like hating on her either. I'm very happy for her. I don't like your music. I like that one. What's it? Bad Blood. I like Bad Blood. If you play Bad Blood in the Eras Tour movie on Disney Plus coming out Thursday, I will watch the Eras Tour movie. But I probably won't. You will. You know what you're going to watch next week? You're going to watch me on Popcorn Poppin' again right here. Talking about movies. Talking about television. Talking about life. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all. Subscribe, like, share,